पे जाऊं अभी?
Okay, we are live now on our YouTube, which is the YouTube channel Zo CEO. और मैं हूँ नाजिया अमीन और मेरे साथ आज मौजूद है इरम गिलानी. Have I spelled or taken your name correctly? इरम, मैंने सही pronounce किया है?
Yes, thank you. It's Gillani.
Yes. So Iram is the strongest, bravest, and the most courageous woman that you would ever come across in today's day and age. एंड इरम अपना इंट्रोडक्शन खुद देंगी. ये इरम का शो है. इरम की बुक उन्होंने जो लिखी है ये उसके बारे में है. इट्स ऑल अबाउट हर जर्नी, हर स्ट्रगल एंड हाउ वी विल टॉक अबाउट. लेट्स हियर इट फ्रॉम इरम हरसेल्फ. इरम, पहले तो ये कि आपका जर्नी जो शुरू हुआ, आपने पूरा अपनी बुक में अपना दिल खोल के बाहर रख दिया. एंड लेट मी नो इफ यू आर कंफर्टेबल मोर विद मी स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश, यू वांट मी टू स्पीक इन अ मिक्स इंग्लिश मिक्स करके, तो फिर हम उसी तरीके से बात करेंगे. And what prompted you to put your heart out on paper?
Thank you so much for taking with me. And I'm either way, you can Urdu or English, and that's perfectly fine with me. On the other hand, if you don't mind, would prefer to easier in that sense. Like, and I can
No. Say.
Thank you for that. In regards to my book, I think that I have decided to finally go ahead and write the book with, all the traumas that I've suffered throughout my life. One thing I have always sort of shortcome. A lot of people either did not offer support, they didn't know how to offer support, or they had no. And I think that's the reason why I initiated this project to write my book, not only to share my personal life, but also to sort of help people understand all sides of trauma, whether you are suffering yourself, whether you're someone who's just outside, trying to gain some knowledge. And that's pretty much the motive behind writing this book was.
Iram, वो trauma है क्या? For those who do not know, Silent No More is a book that Iram Gillani has written and penned down in the most remarkable way, and it's a 112-page book on PDF. और इतनी ज्यादा तकलीफ जो बचपन से एक इंसान ने गुजारी हो, एंड ग्रेजुअली वो कम होने के बजाय स्टेप बाय स्टेप एस्केलेट होते जा रही है. डीपन और डीप रूटेड ट्रॉमा जब इंसान फेस करता है तो बहुत जिंदगी भर उसको पोस्ट ट्रॉमेटिक डिसऑर्डर्स हो जाते हैं, मेंटल इलनेस हो जाती है, सुसाइडल भी हो सकता है. बट बीइंग अ वुमन एंड सच अ स्ट्रॉन्ग वुमन, व्हाट वाज इट दैट आपको अपने अंदर से ही अपनी सेल्फ सपोर्ट मिली, self healing मिली, or have you still not gotten where you wish to be?
So I didn't understand your entire, but what I did understand, I'll go ahead and in regards to the book, I think, and thank you for acknowledging it since birth or shortly after birth. But I think for me, again, then why I was able to come out of traumatic experience, not fully. One thing I did want to just quickly comment that unfortunately goes through trauma, they can never fully recover. There is no such thing as recovery. Out because there is now time that has to accept things for who they are. So in that sense, so in regards to the book, when I wrote it, I want like reflect back on my life and see what was I doing to get my situations. And some of the tips, and I have of course provided about six 6 tips that I have used to help me come out of the trauma, which are again all in the book. It is a free book. You're more than welcome to read it. But it was really just so I can share with people what I have done when I had support from anyone around me, and what I did to come out of it. And hopefully, once you read it, you'll see like how it is doable, and that is really the point here.
So वो क्या process है? Can you take us through that process?
I'm so sorry. Which process?
जिस process को figure out करके a person can come out of abuse, trauma and physical, emotional, mental हर level पे इंसान को जो pain और suffering face करनी पड़ी है, वो उसे overcome करने के लिए क्या steps ले सकता है? आपने क्या share किया अपनी book में?
A number of things that I've shared is just try to make, again, a positive change. Everything is, again, things are never going to be easy. Do not just disappear because you no longer, it's not that you feel the pain, you still feel the pain. So, a number of things that helped me after I got shot, I had trauma to my face, and it was very difficult for me to go out in public. It was very difficult for me to people, do not, if they have never experienced any physical trauma to themselves, they may not understand how critical it is to get that support that others need from. And that when I came out, so to say that, to find help, it's really started with small things. Like I started writing things down. I wrote letters to everyone that was cause of this pain. Although again, I have never given the letters to them. It was it out of my system, because there was no one to listen to me, which hope most of us hope to do is to sit down and listen to you. Unfortunately for me, I did not have that support. So no one was able to listen to me. So I had to do things to make myself believe that I was talking to, although there weren't anyone else present. So of course I did write letters. I did journalize things. I wrote things down. Because you have to remember that when you're going through trauma, your brain only functions and only things, or want to do things that are negative because you are suffering. So I had to constantly remind myself, no, there's more than that. So I have written letters, but I've also written memories, good memories that helped. I started doing things that brought me joy. Like I like cooking, I like going for walks, to have friends, and unfortunately I did not have to rely on, and it's not their fault, it's my own, because I didn't want it to stay in touch with them. So there was like a lot of things that I had to go and do, and those things, I had to learn to trust people again, because that was one thing that was hindered. So I had to learn to do little things like that, make every day to-do list to look forward to the next day, making keynotes with motivational quotes, which I've shared on my website, iramgillani.com. And those are the kind of things that really got me out of something that helped.
Iram, to be able to extract all of those healing techniques and strength from within yourself, अपने अंदर वो सब चीजें ढूंढना भी उस सिचुएशन में अभी तो आज हम वो एज अ वी टेकिंग इट एज अ मेमोरी एंड इट्स पार्ट ऑफ योर पास्ट, जब वो हो रहा होता है उस वक्त भी कॉन्शियसली अपने आप को ये बताना कि things can be better, this is what gives me joy, उस वक्त नेगेटिविटी ज्यादा हावी नहीं हो जाती. And obviously we will leave a lot to the imagination as to why you got shot how bad things were and who did this to you. But if you want to open up about that, you can. Otherwise, we will only talk about things that you're comfortable talking about.
Oh, sure. Trauma, again, regardless of which the trauma is on, is it child molestation to getting into forced marriages, suffering from physical, mental abuse, emotional abuse, and then, of course, constantly being degraded, and then, of course, getting shot. So there was like a journey of things. So, so it's again, it all comes down to, I don't discuss the gunshot incident only because it happened in Pakistan, and or say what who was fully involved in this. I have made speculations, but unfortunately, I once you read the story, you can see where the fingers point to. So, and to answer your question in regards to, like, it's so difficult. It truly is difficult when you're going through so much trauma. Find help for your own self. When you're going through trauma, your brain really does not work. And I've also spoken about suicide because it is that's when people truly cannot find the help they need. Ending their life is truly the only thing they can do, and I'll come to that point where I came to that point where I wanted, but I do know many people who haven't gone through this process and have taken their own life because they felt that help, which is why I've spoken very, in depth to ever suffered from trauma in my book, to say, please understand that you are a value recovery for everyone, only just for the person who's suffering, but also for the environment that you're creating around that person. And those are really the things that will get you by. Otherwise, unfortunately, there isn't any easier way.
So healing is an ongoing process and support helps. मोटिवेशन अपने आप को खुद भी दिलाते रहना और एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेज से भी एक्सट्रैक्शन जो हमें मिलता है फ्रॉम द गिफ्ट ऑफ लाइफ, ये ये जो पावर है, जो स्पिरिट की जो स्ट्रेंथ है, ये बहुत कम लोगों में होती है. Where do you think this stems from? The light within when there is so much darkness.
Um, and thank you for being so generous with your words. I think this is again my personal opinion. I always suffered some sort of a trauma from a very young age, and my body sort of gotten things going bad as I grew. So I think because I learned to suppress my feelings, I'd learned to hide my pain and find a way to put a smile on my face for others to see all those things. Surely it helped me, again, I'm not saying that it was easy, but I think because I've suffered so many things, I got a chance to heal from one thing that was happening before the second thing started. Because there was constantly something happening, I almost like sort of didn't give my brain enough time to fully heal or fully understand the severity of trauma. He was willing or looking after me, and I think that was another way I was blessed, that I didn't have too much time to spend on one trauma, and that just sort of helped me become stronger and stronger every day, alhamdulillah. And I'm happy that I was,
Wonderful. Iram, आपकी बुक आपकी वेबसाइट से अवेलेबल है, पीपल कैन डाउनलोड इट फॉर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, एक पीडीएफ वर्जन इसका, इज दैट द केस? कहीं और भी अगर विजिबल है तो आप बता दें ताकि हम लिंक अपलोड कर दें। एंड व्हाट वुड योर मैसेज बी टू द पीपल आउट देयर यू आर ट्राइंग टू रीच, और जिनको आप बताना चाह रही हैं कि देयर इज मोर टू लाइफ देन टू गिव इन एंड गिव अप, दिस इज आल्सो योर वे ऑफ फाइटिंग, you know?
Yes, of course. It's in formats: ebook, audiobook, and hardcover. Available and at, again, no cost to you. You can simply click on the link and it will be downloaded. That is on my website, iramgilani.
.com.
The second option, which is the audio, is currently not available until next week or so. Done and available to who like to listen to the book like myself rather than reading will find that helpful. And the message again for the message I'm trying to really convey here to please, not only read the book just to learn more about me, but read the book to learn more about on hand, your people that truly give them support, show them, because when someone is suffering, there's nothing more to them than the people. So please make yourself available, do things for them, do things with them, because that, and learn to do things for people who you're not around all the time as well, because many times we get so we forget that we around us that may need us time to time. Allow you to look at these little clues that I have left, who could use your help, and I think we can all make a huge difference in everyone's lives as we live through it.
Zabardast. Thank you so much, Iram, for this gift of Silent No More. And I hope कि वो hard copy भी available हो जाए, accessible हो जाए, and I hope this reaches out to millions and millions of people who really need to see कि इतना सब कुछ होने के बाद भी life and the woman, the person, is still enjoying life, not just surviving. She is enjoying and living it up. That is a slap on the face of everybody who thought ये खत्म हो जाएगा बंदा, बंदा कुछ भी कर ले, उसका spirit जब तक है, उसकी will power है, वो कभी भी खत्म नहीं होगा. And putting it into words, giving it out to people, that's the best thing that you could have done. So thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
You're welcome, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Khudafiz.